Not a clue if this is working. Eh, just kind of went live. I got two monitors. But yeah. That's what happens when you're drunk. You just pop on. Just pop on, do it. Do it. No prep. No nothing. Let's see. Really, really high on the brightness. Let's drop the gamma. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I don't know, Kung Fu Joe. How did you end up there? You clicked on the thing and were like, "Hey, there's a guy. He's on the stream." Hi. I'm not really talking about anything right now. I figured I'd test it out, see if it even worked. I don't expect anybody to come on in here. Do games, politics, and psychology. This is a dead channel. That's why I'm doing it here. This channel doesn't do anything. So yeah, I do games, I do politics and psychology because I'm crazy. I'm a crazy psychological kind of guy. I like doing psychological things, but yeah, right now I'm just kind of running through the motions on the test because I didn't even know if this would work. I was like, hey, YouTube live streaming. Hey, I got OBS. I kind of know how it works. I got a camera. I got lights. They're bright as fuck. And I'm drunk, so might as well. Who the hell cares? It was a big evening of getting drunk due to stupid shit. Stupid shit. Psychologically speaking, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I had meds. Now I don't. Now I have to do liquid medication. No, I'm not a psychopath. I'm probably closer to a sociopath. Yeah, some would say. Some would definitely say. Anyway, nice to meet you, Kung Fu Panda. Don't psychopath me to death. That would be bad. I wouldn't appreciate it at all. Should probably get some alcohol, but like I said, I just kind of popped in. Looks like everything works the way I want it to. So if I want to jump on my other channel at some point, maybe I will. Or maybe I'll restart the Crazy Manic Idiot channel and be like, hey, I'm back, guys. Couldn't start a new channel. I have to be the Crazy Idiot. Have to be the guy. Most don't do much for me. All that alcohol did was make it so my mouth works without my brain getting in the way. Yeah, so all I got right now are fucking election information. Everybody's running speculation out the ass. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I got some people saying voter fraud, which certainly is a possibility. I got other people who are just like, mail-in votes, they're coming in. They're on their way. So it's going to take a while, which is fine, but it's weird that so many other states managed to get their voting count pretty close, and yet there's just a handful that are just like, I don't know. It's just hard, man. It's hard to count. Counting is difficult. Why do I drink? I drink because it was the only thing in the house. I ran out of my meds, which keeps my brain in check, and I was like, hey, look at that. Bottle of tequila has my name on it. And so I drank it, and that is what got me to this point. I don't recommend it. There are better ways to enjoy one's life and drunk. Yeah, it works. It's keeping me level by keeping me off tilt. Depression? Nah. A complicated set of brain issues that I keep those to myself. Some people are like, hey, you have anxiety. No, I don't. I just don't like people. People are confusing. I look at other people's behavior and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get why you do these things. I mean, I don't get why I do half the things I do. And, yeah. So the diagnosis to me is partial bullshit. Just, to put a label on your behavior. I like crazy. I work with crazy. Crazy works for me. Schizoid. How does that pan out for you? Does it make life interesting? Does it make life interesting being a schizoid? Kind of sounds like it should be a band name. And now, with their new single, Crazy Is As Crazy Does, is Schizoid. Meh. Yeah, that's kind of where I am. The depression is one of those things that it's really hard to tell if you actually have it or not. I don't certainly don't feel depressed. Bored most of the time. I find a lot of things just utterly boring. So, including this election garbage, I kind of just I don't even care who wins it anymore. Just fucking call it and let's be done with it. Let's move on to the next goofy pile of shit because it's just a never-ending goofy pile of shit. Understimulated. Yeah, I guess I got that too. I have if I find that I'm bored, I tend to dwell in my own head, and my head tends to be like, "Hey, motherfucker, crazy." But yeah, I don't know. Were you actually diagnosed as psychotic? Is that like an actual thing that you got? Like a doctor going, "Hey, you're psychotic." Make his own Twitter. Yeah, yeah. The Trumper, just the Trumpster, psychopath. Okay, is that and that's different than psychotic? I'm sure. There's a distinction. But was that something that was actually somebody with a fucking degree was like, this is what you have. I ran into cops looking for a serial killer. Oh, that's an interesting situation. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna take it at face value because it's hey, he popped in and decided to chat at me, but there's part of me that goes, are you trolling me right now? And yeah, and then you might be, even if you were, you wouldn't tell me because that would break the troll. But yeah, that they went and questioned you. Did you fit a description, or are you just like the local psychopath that everybody knows about? Oh my god, what? Uh, that would have been a rough night, Have the cops think you're a serial killer. I wouldn't know how to handle that. I'd probably fuck with them and be like, yeah, I got bodies here and here and here, and there's also one in New Jersey. I got one in Santa Monica. I got 16 over in Colorado, and just send them out like looking for bodies. Because hey, if you're gonna bother to like say you're the guy, I might as well give them something to do. What would suck is if they actually found the body, and then now I have to explain it. Now I have to be like, no, I'm not psychotic. I'm psychic. Which did they ever end up catching the serial killer? The one they were looking for. I don't know. I'm sure you'll message me at some point. That would be cool. Had a relationship. Oh, good. They did catch him. That's always a good thing, I guess. I mean, what was the Zodiac still not caught yet? Probably dead now. And probably the only way you're gonna catch him is catch his bones. I'm looking around at Twitter right now. Don't mind me. I'm if you want to head out, that's fine. This, like I said, this was just a test to see how the channel worked. If it's entertaining to you, hey, who doesn't like being entertained by a guy in black and white talking about nothing? If you don't follow Omegan, he's a guy that I follow. He's a squid face. This is what he had to say 16 minutes ago. In 2016, I turned off my Facebook because of how aggressive things got with Brexit and the U.S. election. I think I'm going to take the mute button on a date. And I agree. People have started to go into full-on fever pitch. It's crazy. Ronald Jensen. I'll have to look that up. Let's see who that is. Ronald Jensen. 2 S's. 1 S. arrangements. No, he twice win of the gold medal, so that's clearly not the guy I'm looking for. How about this one with the two S's? Ronald Elaine Jensen, born February 6, 1971, is a Belgian serial killer who was sentenced to life imprisonment on October 21st, 2011 for the murder of 3 people. 3 plus. They know of 3, but they're giving him credit for more. Span of crimes, 3 years. Very short span. He was like, a 2-part episode in like one of them crime shows. Biography. Ronald Elaine Jensen was born on February 6, 1971 in Borsum, the 3rd child of a family of 4. His father was a miner, not like a young kid, he actually like a pick and a hat, miner. And his mother was a housekeeper. She kept the house. From early childhood, Jensen was teased at schools for his lisp. At least it wasn't a stutter. If he had a stutter, he could run for president. His father was depressed and severe at the tyrannical limit. At home, Ronald was terrorized by his father. The fear caused him to have insomnia, which he kept throughout his life. He allegedly tried to murder his diabetic father by injecting him with liquid instead of insulin. His mother, Hilda, had a strong relationship with his son, which they dated from the time that Ronald's father was brutal with the family. That was a weird sentence. When Hilda decided to divorce, all 4 children continued to live with their mother. He studied at Hassett and lived in 93. He graduated, blah, 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 blah. They know a lot about the dude. And what did he do? He killed people. Like, I was hoping for just a paragraph. This is like, apparently this is a big deal. Belgium must not have a lot of serial killers floating around. Well, America, we like pop up with serial killers every few years. We're just, we call them mass shootings. It's one, I know there's like a term for serial killing, but it seems like most people are just like hung up on the numbers. So I have a little bit of fun with that. No, he wasn't a school shooter. He was a serial killer with a very short span of time in which he did his serial killings. Ronald Jensen's trial began on Tuesday, September 20th, 2011 in Limburg. The trial was chaired by Michael Jordans, assisted by Hairline Wilmots and Niels Bolen. The prosecutor was Patrick Boyan. Jensen was defended by a name I'm not even going to attempt, while Jeff represented the parents of the victims of Annick Van Ustel. I'm an American, and I can barely say, like, regular English words, so expect a lot of mispronunciations and fuck-ups. In this indictment, Advocate General Patrick Boyer asked for the maximum sentences by saying, "I will make sure that you stay in prison until your last breath. You are a psychopath, a rapist, a torturer, and a serial killer, and not this other guy that we happen to think was him." By the way, it was very nice to meet you. This was kind of interesting to read about. Yeah, that would have been rough to have them thinking it was you. On Friday, October 21st, 2011, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. During his second trial, which began on Monday, September 10th, 2012, in the Limburg Criminal Court in Hasselt? I can't tell if that's a T or an L. Fuck you, font. He was convicted of a dozen rapes with violent sexual assault with a weapon, several attempted murders, and acts of torture. And this guy, he needed a hobby, something, stamp collecting, jerking off, anything. I mean, it would all worked. Hillary Clinton. At the time, they didn't know he was a serial killer. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it just, like I said, it was... That's crazy. I always had kind of a fascination with serial killers just because I was like, am I one? They apparently have like a model, and I fit a number of things, like, the lack of interpersonal communication, but the one that I tended to or like empathy, I guess. Like, I got growing empathy. It takes a little bit of nurturing, but I got to the part where it's like most of them torture animals, and I was like, yeah, that ain't me. I'm not into, unless I'm eating them, but then it's like, why torture them? It ruins the meat. creates an adrenaline rush, which spoils it. It's not good. Oh, they're just eating up cereal. Yeah, that's way better. Being a suspected serial rapist. Hopefully they didn't splatter that all over the news and ruin your fucking life. According to Lisa Lou Who on Twitter, unrelated news, her cat's a very good boy. Apparently we needed to know that. Apparently. Stargazer says, in response to Will Holiday, poll workers in Philly wearing Biden mask and just waving. They're waving. Stargazer says, yes, this isn't right, but at this point, who cares? If they didn't show their support for either side, or if they chose to show up naked, let them. As long as every single thing is counted and entered in the system correctly, I don't give a fuck. I agree. You can support whoever you want to support. Just fucking treat it fairly, for Christ's sake. Oh, wait. Fairness. That is some kind of like crazy moral thought that is up to the individual on what is deemed as fair. Like, for example, if you're of the opinion that Donald Trump cheated the last election, then all's fair. Might as well cheat yourself. Even if they do cheat, fuck them. Gotta win by any means necessary. Yeah, my father was a knocker at a slaughterhouse. He didn't really like that job. I think he only lasted 6 or 8 months there, but it was one of those learn to really appreciate the meat you have. It's a rough gig if you don't have the stomach for it, or your disposition or mental problems might actually be a benefit there, because ultimately you wouldn't have the empathy for that. And that's not a judgment. I'm just saying that would essentially be a skill at that point, since you could handle it without any psychological damage. Or in the case, you might actually like it. And this is from Lionel Mania, from Lionel Nation. And now that Jack Dorsey smells blood and awaits the go-ahead from his handlers to really lower the boom. If you thought you knew censorship, you ain't seen nothing yet. He didn't take kindly to being humiliated and didn't care for all the Fred Ziffel jokes, so brace yourself. Fuck Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey's a cunt. Yeah, that's pretty much my whole opinion on the matter. He is a control freak, and like everybody else in this particular game, lies through his fucking teeth. So, cunt. And that's all that needs to be said about that fucking jackass. Anyway, I'm going to cut this stream short. It was very nice talking to you. Let's see. Kung Fu Joe. I appreciate the insight. I appreciate learning fucking who a new serial killer was. I wouldn't even thought to look at Belgium. What? They have murderers in other countries? Nah. But no, I appreciate that. That was something worth checking out. So, have a good night. Thank you for joining me.